Hi, this is Cindy from Vintage to New. Today we're going to be talking buttons. Buttons make me happy. So I try to recycle buttons whenever I can. If I come across a shirt that's worn out or I'm going to use it for another purpose, I always save the buttons. And so if you throw your buttons in a button jar, that's one step, but I'm going to show you even a better way to keep track of them today. So without delay, let's get started right away recycling our buttons. If you've been with my channel anytime, you know that the By the Pound Goodwill store is one of my favorite places to go to collect fabrics and different things. And I am an avid button collector. I love buttons. And so this is one thing that I have learned over the years that I just wanted to share. I also use razor blades that are single edge. This edge back here is got a little guard on it, and then the sharp part is here in the front. I have always used these. My mom taught me to sew over 50 years ago, and this is what she always used for a seam ripper. So I've been using these a long time. You have to be careful, but they work really great. So you can just go through and just cut your buttons off. Men's shirts have so many buttons on them and they all match. So you just go through and cut them off. Don't forget to cut the ones on the sleeves. Now this is a casual shirt, so it only has buttons that are the same size as the ones on the front. But a lot of times you'll find really small buttons on a dress shirt here on the placket, one or two, and then sometimes the buttons that are on the sleeve cuff are smaller. So you just go through and cut them all off, and you could use a seam ripper, a regular one, just as easy, and it's probably a little safer, but just get all your buttons cut off. So I took all the buttons off of that shirt, and this was an older shirt, and they're really cool buttons. They look like sawed wood, but they're plastic. There were 14 buttons on that shirt. In the old days, I would just take and throw them in my mom's button jar, okay? But the problem with that is when you want to use them, you don't know how many you have, and you don't know where they are, and you spend forever trying to find matching buttons. So the little trick I'm going to show you is so simple. I don't know why I didn't think of it years ago. You take a needle and thread and tie a knot in the end of a double. You've looped your thread through. So here's the top of my thread. There's my knot at the bottom. So it's like this. It's a continuous loop. All right. So go on your first button and then go through this loop. And your button is on there, and then you string all your buttons on, because if you just throw these into a jar and then you throw more buttons into a jar, the day that you want to have, you know, a few matching buttons, you don't know how many you have that match, you don't know if you have enough. So all those questions come up. This way, you know exactly how many buttons you have, that they all match. And like I said, on dress shirts, sometimes they even come in different sizes, which is really handy. Okay, so my buttons are all looped on. So then I go back down to the bottom of my thread here, and I tie a knot. So now they're all hooked together, like so, and that's what goes into the button jar. So now these are all always together, and I won't be spending time trying to find my matching buttons. Now, I store my buttons in these cute little jars. To me, they look like a little milk bottle, and what these are Starbucks coffee drinks. I actually bought the drinks just for the bottle. I enjoyed the drink, but I wanted the bottle, and I just have, you know, multiple bottles of buttons. And so that was my button video for today.